So Google did a study, and it was called the zero moment of truth. And what this is the moment in time where a buyer actually makes the purchasing decision to choose a company or to choose another company. So anyway, my name is Lewis Shank. I'm the founder of Bruce Media Agency. My intention with this channel is to share all the findings that I learn. Maybe one day down the line, I'll have some kind of thing to sell you. But for now, I run a PR and podcast agency. And so I was actually at a kind of business owners party over the weekend, and I met with a guy who's actually the business coach to my friends who have an insurance company that they started 2 years ago. It does 25 million a year now. But anyway, we were having a chat and we're talking about business, and I was telling him about what I do, right? And we're kind of thinking of, he was actually giving me ways on which we can actually articulate the value at a higher level on what we do. And he asked me, have you ever heard of the 7-11-4 rule, or like the zero moment of truth? Obviously, I hadn't heard of it, and so he kind of went on to explain that there's a moment in time where people actually decide to work with you, and that comes after the 7-11-4 rule. So what is the 7-11-4 rule? So basically, the 7-11-4 rule, the 7 is the number of hours of content that someone needs to consume from you before buying from you. So if you look at 7 hours of content, right, it could be a million things, right? It can be YouTube, like you're watching now. It could be TikTok, it's IG, Reels / Facebook Reels, LinkedIn, Pinterest, blogs, articles. It can be literally a million different things. But basically, you need someone to consume 7 hours of your content for them to feel fully comfortable and confident in your ability to do what you do, right? So that's the first part. 11 is the number of touch points, right? So 11 different touch points. So obviously, a touch point can come in many different forms. It could be an intro call, sales call, emails, follow-ups, nurture sequences. Again, it could be content, it could be articles and videos, anything that creates a touch point. And now the last one, the 4, which is kind of the most interesting part, is 4 different platforms. Right, so basically, when you want to nurture someone or when you want to create all these touch points, you want them to be on 4 different platforms. So, I can spin them out all over again. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. So the goal is, right, to get them onto different platforms. Obviously, you don't want to spam them, send an email on, Gmail and then send the next follow-up on TikTok. That makes absolutely no sense. But the point being is you want them to see you in different places, right? I would liken this to taking a girl out on a first date. So I was chatting with my buddy a few months ago, and anyway, he was taking a girl out on a date, and he was taking a girl out on a date, and he was asking me for some advice. And I was like, well, what's the intention? And he, full well told me his intention. I said, well, the best thing you can do in this scenario is to go to multiple places, right? You go to the first place, so you go for dinner, then you might go for dessert somewhere else. Then you go to a bar and go for a drink. And then all of a sudden, you've had all these different touch points, right? Someone's seen you in a different environment. They become more and more comfortable, right? So it gives you kind of this power where people build that trust a lot quicker than had they just been in that restaurant with you for 6 hours, right? So how do we use this to win, right? How do we use it to win? The way that we do this is we start doing more. So more content, right? So this is part of my intention with this channel now, is to have more content so that when people actually go on there, they look up my name. If you were to look up my name now, there's a ton of different blogs, articles, content, website, media, podcasts, etc. So you want to obviously just be in more and more places with more and more content so that when you outreach to someone or when they see you online, that they actually want to click and engage with you. Obviously, you want to add some more touch points into sales process, right? So what I mean by this, you want to add some extra touches into the sales process so that you can actually create more trust and nurture them even more. So rather than just do a basic sales process, where you DM someone, you email them, you get them on an intro call, you get them on a sales call, and then you try and close them, right? This is what you can do, right? So this is our outbound sales process overview. So we have a cold email and DM. This goes from our BDR, which is a business development representative. They're essentially booking the intro call, right? So we get the call booking, then they get an automated sequence with 3 different emails, some case studies, some different results, and then some more info on us and what we do. Then there's a manual touch before the intro call. Obviously, they get an automated sequence from Calendly as well, which reminds them of the call booking so they don't miss it. This is more the rep reaching out personally and saying, hey, John, looking forward to connecting with you today. Then they're on the intro call. Now they've already had about 5 to 6 touch points from us from the first call, right? Then obviously we schedule them onto a demo call if they're a good fit. What we then do is the SDR will then send the post email. And then we have a sequence of 2 to 3 emails where it sends extra testimonials, case studies to really prime them for the demo call. And again, we have a pre-demo manual touch. So we'll also follow up on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever we got the initial connection from. And then we get to the demo call. So by the time we're at the demo call, we've had around like 11 to 12, sometimes even more touch points, depending on how, the prospect responds. So that drastically, that took our close rate from around like 29 to 30% on cold to around like 38 to 40%. So significant increase. And then, obviously the end of the sales process is getting them onboarded, scheduling them onto an onboarding call with our client success manager. So just to recap, you want to have 7 hours of content that someone can consume. So actually, I would even add podcasts into here. Podcasts are probably one of the best. I don't know why I didn't put this at the top. 11 touch points. So you want them to hear from you 11 times, feel that you're actually there connecting with them. Then lastly, at least 4 different platforms. So obviously these aren't the only platforms, but you get the point. Anywhere that they can, see you, hear from you, experience what you have to say, then at least in 4 different places. So implement this in your business and watch your conversions and your sales skyrocket. And like I said, I have absolutely nothing to sell you. If you got value from this video, like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.